So now the kingdom Protista. All single-celled eukaryotes under the Protista. The boundaries is not well defined. It is photosynthetic protistan, a plant. It can be a photosynthetic protistan or it can be a plant. Now, protista include chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, euglenoids, slime molds, and protozoans. They are primarily aquatic. Okay, they form the link between plants, animals, and fungi. Okay, being eukaryotes, the protistan cell body contains a well-defined nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles. They have flagella or cilia. They produce sexually asexually, involving cell fusion and zygote formation. Now chrysophytes includes diatoms and golden algae, that is desmids. Now they are they are found in freshwater as well as marine water environment. They are microscopic, float passively in water currents, so these are planktons. Most of them are photosynthetic. Diatoms, the cell walls form two thin overlapping shells which fit together as in the soap box in diatoms. Okay, the walls are embedded with silica and thus the walls are indestructible. Thus diatoms have left behind large amount of cell wall deposits in their habitat. It is diatomaceous earth. Being gritty, this used in polishing, filtration, oils and syrups. Diatoms are chief producers in oceans, right? Chrysophytes include diatoms and golden algae, that is desmids. Now dinoflagellates. Now dinoflagellates organisms, they are mostly marine and photosynthetic. Okay, various colors they show. Cell wall as deep cellulose plates on the outer surface. Most of them have two flagella. One lies longitudinally and the other transversely in a furrow between the walls and plates. Very often red dinoflagellates, example goniulates, undergo rapid multiplication and they make the sea appear red, that is red tides. Toxins also released by them. So these are the dinoflagellates. Picture is here. Now euglenoids, majority of them are freshwater organisms found in stagnant water. They don't have the cell wall but they have the protein rich layer called pellicle, makes their body flexible. The two flagella are short and long, though they are photosynthetic in presence of sunlight, but they act like autotrophs by predating on other smaller animals. And their pigments of euglena are identical to those present in the higher plants. Example is euglena. This one is euglena. It has two flagella, one short and one large. Now slime molds. Slime molds are saprophytic protists. Okay, they move like on decaying twigs leaves. Suitable condition, they form aggregation called plasmodium, and during unfavorable condition, the plasmodium differentiates and forms fruiting bodies bearing spores at their tips, and these spores possess the true walls. They are extremely resistant, and these spores are dispersed by air currents. So these are the slime molds shown in the figure. Now coming to the protozoans. All protozoans are heterotrophs and live as predators or parasites. They are primitive relatives of animals. These are protozoans. There are four major groups of protozoans: amoeboid protozoans, flagellated protozoans, ciliated protozoans, and sporozoans. So amoeboid protozoans, they move and capture their prey by putting out pseudopodia, that is false feet, in amoeba, that is amoeboid protozoan, and marine forms have silica shells on their surface. Okay, now some of them such as entamoeba are parasites. Now flagellated protozoans They either free living or parasitic. They are flagella. Parasitic forms cause diseases such as sleeping sickness, that is trypanosoma, and then ciliated protozoans. These are aquatic, actively moving organisms because of the presence of thousands of cilia. They have a cavity gullet that opens to the outside of the cell surface. Okay, the coordinated movement of rows of cilia causes the water laden with food to be steered into the gullet. Example, paramecium. Now sporozoans, malaria. Okay, and spore-like stage, infectious spore-like stage. The most notorious is plasmodium, that is malarial parasite which causes malaria. Okay, now the kingdom fungi. The kingdom fungi constitute a unique kingdom of heterotrophic organisms. They show great diversity in morphology and habitat, great extensive metabolic diversity by bacteria. Okay, but the great diversity in morphology and habitat is shown by fungi. Okay, moist bread and rotten fruits caused by fungi. Okay, common mushrooms, seaweed, and toadstools are also fungi. White spots seen on mustard leaves are due to parasitic fungi. Some unicellular fungi yeast to make beer and bread. They cause diseases in plants and animals. Wheat rust causing puccinia. They are antibiotics. Penicillium fungi cosmopolitan. They found everywhere. They grow in warm and humid places. This is why we keep food in refrigerator to avoid bacterial or fungal infection. With the exception of weeds which are unicellular, fungi are filamentous. Okay. Long, slender, thread-like structures called hypa. The network of hypae form mycelium. So hypae forms the mycelium. Some hypae are continuous tubes filled with multinucleated cytoplasm. These are called cenocytic hypae. So multinucleated cenocytic hypae, or others have septa or cross walls in their hypae. Septa or cross walls in their hypae. Okay, the walls of fungi are composed of chitin and polysaccharides. Right, chitins and polysaccharides. Now most fungi are heterotrophic and absorb soluble organic matter from dead substrates, and hence they are saprophytes. They depend on living plants and animals. These are parasites, and then symbionts, lichens, and mycorrhiza. Algae and fungi, lichens, and roots of higher plants, and fungi is mycorrhiza. So these are the symbionts. So fungi are heterotrophics. They are saprophytes. They are parasites. They are symbionts. Examples: lichens and mycorrhiza. Reproduction in fungi can take place by vegetative means, fragmentation, fission, and budding. Asexual reproduction by spores called conidia, sporangiospores, or zoospores. These are asexual spores, and sexual reproduction is by oospores, ascospores, and basidiospores. They have the distinct fruiting bodies. Sexual cycle involves 3 steps: fusion of protoplasms between 2 motile or non-motile gametes called plasmogamy. So this is the fusion of protoplasm. The fusion of nuclei, this is the second step, that is karyogamy. Okay, now meiosis in zygote resulting in haploid spores. In some fungi, the fusion of 2 haploid cells immediately results in diploid cells, right, 2n. But in some, like in other like fungi, ascomycetes, basidiomycetes, it is a dikaryotic stage. N plus n, that is 2 nuclei per cell occurs. Such condition is called dikaryon, and the phase is called dikaryo phase of fungi. The fungi form fruiting bodies in which reduction division occurs, leading to formation of haploid cells. The morphology of the mycelium, mode of spore formation, and fruiting bodies. From the basis of division of kingdom into various classes. Right, now phycomycetes. Members of Phycomycetes are found in aquatic habitats on decaying wood in moist and damp places or as obligate parasites on plants. The mycelium is aseptate and cynocetic. Asexual reproduction by zoospores, that is motile, or by actinospores, these are non-motiles. The spores endogenously produce in sporangia. The zygospore is formed by fusion of two gametes. Okay. If the gametes are similar in morphology, isogamous, or they are dissimilar in morphology, these are anisogamous or oogamous. Some common examples: mucor, rhizopus, that is bread mold, albugo, parasitic fungi on mustard. Albugo, parasitic fungi on mustard. So this first one is the mucor. Now Ascomycetes, these are sac fungi, mostly multicellular penicillium or rarely unicellular, that is yeast, Saccharomyces. They are also coprophilous, growing on dung. Mycelium branched and septate. Asexual spores, these are Conidia.